everybody. Jake Spano here with your first Mayor's Minute of 2022. So Happy New Year. This time of year, I get questions about Christmas trees and Christmas wreaths and how long can I have mine up? When do I have to have it out on the curb for it to be hauled away? The week of the 17th through the 21st is the last week that trees and wreaths will be picked up. There's a link here where you can find information about how you want to, what you'll need to do to make sure your tree's ready for that pickup, but I just want to let folks know the 17th through the 21st is when that pickup will happen. Last night was our first council meeting for the new council, so Sue Budd, who is the new Ward 3 member taking over for Rachel Harris, was sworn in, so congratulations to Sue, as well as council members Browson and Dumalog and Rog, who were all sworn in, and a special thank you to Judge Alan Oleski, who is a 60-plus year resident of St. Louis Park and is a retired judge who has been doing our swearing-ins for ages, as long as I can remember, and is always a welcome sight at our swearing-in, so we appreciate him taking time out to volunteer for that service. Also last night, one of the items that was on our agenda was the city formalized its participation in what's called the Just Deeds Project. The Just Deeds Project is a group of cities that are working with their residents to do what's called discharging restrictive racial covenants on home property. Well, what does that mean? Well, we got a link here where you can learn more about the practice, but what I will just say is that it was a not uncommon occurrence in the 1900s for developers to put rules on property that prevented anyone who wasn't white from owning that property. And this was a way to create segregation in communities, and also it created systemic inequities between people who could build wealth by owning property and people who couldn't. This has been an issue that I've been digging into, through my work at the National League of Cities, but also on my own, my own home, right? In looking at the Mapping Prejudice Project website from the University of Minnesota, where they've been tracking this phenomenon, we've got a link to that here. I found that my own home had a restrictive racial covenant that meant that only white folks were supposed to be able to live here. And in fact, my entire neighborhood is covered by a restrictive racial covenant. So we'll be documenting, my wife and I, as we go through the process of discharging the covenant on our property and sharing that here, so you'll sort of see an example of kind of what that looks like and how it happens. But I would encourage you to learn more by going to the Mapping Prejudice Project website. It's a really, really important and fascinating opportunity to understand how systemic inequities have been built up over the decades and why it's important for cities and individuals to be working to undo them. Lastly, just an update on the Byerly's carjacking situation. So we did arrest the two of the three suspects before the holiday. I think I reported on that. I got a briefing from our chief last night. We are continuing to actively pursue leads on the third suspect. And myself and a group of other mayors have reached out to the county attorney and requested some time to talk with him about some of the things that our police chiefs are seeing in terms of policies that are coming from the state and county level and what impacts those have on us here at the local level. I just got off the phone with the county attorney. He's eager to have that conversation and share information with us, as our chiefs are interested in sharing information with him, as well as the Ramsey County Attorney John Choi and folks from the state, Paul Schnell from the Department of Corrections. He'll be there. Mayors from Minneapolis and St. Paul are also going to be joining. So understanding that this is a regional problem, it's been a problem lately for us, but this has been a regional problem for a while. We're wanting to make sure that all of the players are in the room to have the conversations around what we're seeing from a policy perspective and how that plays out in our communities every day, so that we can make sure that we are as safe as is possible. So with that, I'm just going to say, I won't go deep, but I will say we do continue to monitor Omicron and its growth in our community, and work on backup plans if we need to go back to things like remote council meetings or partial operations for some of our city departments. Nothing has changed, but just want folks to know that we are making sure that our plans are up to date and ready if we decide to move in that direction. So until then, wash your hands, be safe, and have a great week, everybody. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.